price of silver has skyrocketed today. A bullion broker I spoke with yesterday predicted that we would reach new all-time highs, and here we are. This interview must be seen. Where is the peak? You have no idea. In my opinion, both of those metals will reach new all-time highs very soon. What do you think is the most prudent purchase to make at the moment? For example, if precious metals were unfamiliar territory for a new investor. Oh, the gold and silver you need can be purchased online at SD Bullion. Visit sdbullion.com/new to purchase gold or silver instantly. The exhibition is down to its last 2 coins. Even at these record prices, we still can't keep US gold in stock. Fractional is the sweet spot lately, though, because that's what people can buy. Once it gets in, it usually disappears without a trace. Half an ounce from yesterday is still here? That's surprising. When we bring in a buffalo, though, it disappears in an instant. Also eagles quite as quickly. Yeah, people are buying because they are afraid they will miss out. To be fair, I did see in the news today that gold futures hit a fresh all-time high of $4,000 per ounce. And the spot price of gold has gone up. It has just risen by about $25. It's almost $4,000 per ounce. Is $4,000 a realistic goal for this week? It is possible that we may accomplish it earlier today. So far, we're at 4,000, and there has been a swing of almost $13 since I arrived this morning, plus another $1,380. We should be able to go there today or tomorrow, barring any huge profit taking that happens today. Now the question is, will silver reach $50 Oz if gold reaches $4,000? Oh, look at us again. We're incredibly close. Just under $2 separates us from that. Consequently, it is possible that both metals will reach new highs before the weekends. Additionally, this is the matter, as if silver were already at $50 Oz. See if you can find 1 ounce of silver for less than $50. As of right now, with the small decline in silver's price, we're at $49.50. But seriously, check out the Eagles and the government rounds. They've finished Adrian. I completely agree with you. The reason being that we are not participating in the spot market while dealing with physical goods. It's the market for paper. There is a $50 fee. Here we are, everyone. Here it is. Does it make sense for individuals to buy gold and silver now, with prices going up? We've discussed this in earlier videos, but many people told me, I'm not buying an ounce for $2,000, so it's just speculation whether you think it's at the peak or not. I intend to remain seated till it descends again, and they continue to do the same. Where then is the peak? You have no idea. Plus, gold has gained an additional $1.70 since we began filming this video, which was approximately 2 minutes ago. My uncle and I were talking yesterday, and he mentioned that he recently acquired a metal and is now considering purchasing more. I guess I was trying to convey the idea that he would be happy he splurged on some metals after getting a windfall of money. Plus, he's planning to go into more. In addition, he wanted to know my prediction for the future of gold and silver prices. And I was thinking, you know what? I'm going to tell it how it is. You have no idea. They'll rise to the top. Their downfall is imminent. We are currently venturing into unknown terrain. No, we're not. At an all-time high for gold and nearly at an all-time high for silver. Everything else has gone increased in value, but our currency has fallen so much if you truly consider it. That leaves just gold and silver as commodities that have failed to rise. I believe we've established new market lows and, it's holding resistance strongly, so I feel like we're simply playing catch-up. On top of that, we haven't seen the massive drops that typically accompany gains of $50 to $100. On a daily basis, we continue to set new records. Plus, looking back at previous historical highs, you could always find an explanation for why the metals were doing that. As an example, in 1979, the Hunt brothers attempted to dominate the silver market. You had the insurance and banking crises from 2009 to 2011. The metals went mad because of that. Please tell me what you can do right now that might alter the current market dynamic, either permanently or in the near future. Unless I'm mistaken, there isn't a single thing propelling it. The market is just doing what it does, which is moving up at the moment. Additionally, it is in the midst of a perfect storm. Like, when you consider everything that's happening in the globe, It's not just one issue, like Harry stated. Everything is happening at once, so it's not like we're waiting for news on a certain subject. The long-term pressure on precious metals like silver and gold is being exacerbated. Oh, and another thing. When silver hit $50 per ounce, gold wasn't at $4,000 per ounce till about 800 or 1500 was. This is completely different. I see. This time around, gold has actually been in the lead, with silver waking up and starting to follow suit after a brief period of dominance. This is due to the fact that we have produced videos in which 12 times as much was going on a few years ago, and now we're down to about 80 to 1. So yeah, silver is the metal that's changing hands at the moment. Yes, gold is too, but the ratio is starting to close. Within the next several days, I predict that each of those metals will reach new all-time highs. Even while it may be bad for the metals market if good news spread over the globe, I would rather prefer it that way. Give me some good news. This is my home. Yes, please. I don't see any good news breaking out anytime soon. Yeah, I also don't. Whether you want to keep your silver at home where it is secure or want to bring it along on your travels, many have been asking me how to best store it. By the way, Harry, have you recently restocked the stacker vaults? We are started fulfilling orders after receiving 200 late last week. At this point in time, we have likely sold approximately 1/4 of them. Holy cow. We are pleased to inform you that we still have an ample supply and can actually fulfill your order. Their water resistance is one of the many reasons why these are fantastic. Plus, they're completely waterproof. Thus, it will aid in preventing the corrosion of your silver. Also, wouldn't you agree that it will be easier to sell your silver if it is spotless and appears brand new rather than tarnished? The answer is obvious. What we call retail-friendly silver is what a normal coin store or dealer will ask for. Please don't scuff it up or make any other unsightly marks on it. We would prefer it undamaged. The attractive one is the one that sells. The attractive one will be purchased if it is placed next to the less attractive one. This will also aid in maintaining their pristine condition. You could even fly with these if you're interested in traveling with silver. In order to prevent the case from warping or being damaged, there is a small airlock here that may be opened. Plus, these stacking vaults make transporting silver a breeze. Therefore, in my opinion, they are a worthwhile purchase. Right, and we must not overlook the fact that their inception was spurred by the fear that someone would reach into a safe and pluck out a tube or a coin if the door was slightly pried open. On the other hand, clearing the door would need a lot more effort if they are already inside. For the silver, it's both a practical and a cosmetic concern. The fact that it's small enough to fit in a backpack is another perk. Yeah, like, what do preppers call it? A bag to go? You can't predict your destination or the conditions you'll face while you're traveling with a backpack containing your true necessities. At the very least, your metals will be safe. I see your point. The fact that it's American-made is another plus in my book. And that's not all. Not a single gripe. Are you noticing any new stackers, Harry, with all the folks coming in to buy silver and gold? Do you notice that some customers are entering for the first time? Hi, Adrian. Yesterday, I overheard him assisting someone who came right out and stated, "I'm new here. I have no idea what to buy." As a result, what ends up happening is, for example, I was listening to the radio news on my way to work this morning when I heard a story that was quite similar to the one you were describing, stating that the price of gold had reached $4,000 on the futures market. When people who don't stack hear stories like that on the way to work, they might think, "Hey, Joe at work buys gold and silver. I should really buy some of that." As a result, word gets out to the general public through the non-collector media, and suddenly everyone starts to wonder if something important is being left out. Meeting new people is great, but it takes some work on both of our parts to learn enough about the products to make informed purchases. You don't want to waste money after all. Before you part with your hard-earned cash, you should have a vague idea of what you want or where you want to go. What do you think is the most prudent purchase to make at the moment? The best value for money when it comes to precious metals for those who are fresh to the market. Advice like this is helpful for newcomers. What I mean by fancies is that I've witnessed fresh folks do the exact opposite and buy them. Here you have these half-ounce silver pieces, presented in exquisite packaging from a mint somewhere in the globe. As for the theme, it's in a lovely box, but nobody cares about it. The result is that they are let down when they try to sell their goods at spot or close to it, unlike in a buffalo round. Here's 1 ounce of silver for you. If you're not an expert, it's best to go with the silver for the money and avoid the frills, especially if you're just going to stack them against anything that has a certain motif. Prefer to use generics. Stay with buffaloes if at all possible. They are, after all, the most popular design option, sells quickly. I have one piece of advice regarding the 100-ounce bars. They look great, but you should know that they aren't divisible if you ever need to sell some of your silver. I suppose it could be divided in some way, but not in a commercial sense. But I'd recommend doing rounds, as Harry said. Without a doubt, buffalo rounds are an excellent choice. But if you're in it for the long haul and you don't plan on selling your silver for at least a couple of years, then by all means, go ahead and do it, Mike. The 100-ounce bars are something to think about. However, I would recommend buffalo rounds if you are planning to save silver and anticipate a need for it in the near future. 5 or 10 rolls are available for sale. Instead of selling your entire 100 ounces in one go, sure, we do have a 10-ounce silver bar and a few 1-ounce silver bars on hand. Would the price be the same for 10 of the 1-ounce units or for 1 unit of 10? That is my question. The cost is same. A yes? The bars that are most difficult for us to sell, the kilogram and 100-ounce ones, are where the price breaks start. According to Adrian, I could sell the 1-ounce bars individually if I bought 10 of them. However, I will need to sell the entire chunk if I purchase even one of the 10-ounce bars. I see what you're saying. Additionally, a 1-ounce bar of silver is preferable than a 10-ounce bar in the event that you ever feel the need to sell silver for food or anything else. For the simple reason that I consider that to be a substantial sum to be spent. Sure, I'd much rather purchase silver by the ounce. Those buffalo circles of silver, as Harry suggested, would be my first choice instead of the bars. Those are the most optimal things to stack at the moment, in my opinion. On the other hand, I enjoy 10-ounce bars. In terms of stacking, it's the heaviest increment of weight I could suggest. Simple to sell once more. No dealer is going to decline a deal because they don't feel like dealing today. Dozens of others will purchase a 10-ounce bar. Yeah, since it is among our most popular items, you make a valid point. I mean, seriously, customers often ask if we have any 10-ounce bars in stock. We usually say something like, "We were just out, but we have some coming in," or, "Yes, I can get some more for you." On top of that, we seem to be constantly replenishing our supply of it. The weight and feel of a 10-ounce silver bar is undeniable, though. It is true. While it's far less expensive, the quality isn't up to par with a kilo. Finally, Harry, I have a question. You said in last week's video that getting certain kinds of silver from the wholesaler was a pain. Also, I've seen that other stores are running out on supply. Does it seem to be the standard these days? Is it because people are interested in purchasing this new silver product? It's clear that there are more patients participating. Our preferred method of running the business is based on just-in-time inventory. We avoid being negatively affected by changes in prices since we do not maintain a large inventory on hand. However, we have just discovered that when we place an order with the major dealers, many of the items we prefer to keep in stock, such as buffalo rounds, take at least 1 week to arrive, whereas if we wire them the money, they will ship the very same day. For this reason, we have sought out the services of amiable local bullion merchants, and if everything else fails, just go out and get some silver. It's going to be a bit longer than it has been in recent months, so I think you should prepare ahead a bit more than maybe even I have. Due to the refiner's backlog, it appears incredibly intriguing. Even though they have a lot of silver, there isn't a ton of fresh silver stuff available. From what I've gathered, their main point is the materials that will be transformed into raw materials. Items that will be melted, like as jewelry, lower quality rounds and bars, eagles, and similar items. Regarding the new things, though, they have absolutely no backups. As a matter of fact, I believe you will face delays. It could happen in the next few days, but I'm going to hold my breath until silver reaches that record high. Perhaps within the next few hours.